Hi, I'm Marie Mitchell. I'm the realtor with Karl Realty that has this beautiful home listed. This is Claire House number 4. I'm with Jordan Parker, who is the chairman, president of the board.
Whatever, yeah, something.
Yeah, something like that. And the mastermind behind these projects. So
That's a stretch, yeah.
Jordan, tell us some things about this house. This is just a beautiful home.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've been blessed, and this is now the 4th house in 3 years that we've done in the Alta Vista community. And we're, the outpouring that we've had on this project, which has been so massive, to go from such a small house that we've typically done. We typically are in the range of a 900 square foot house to maybe 1,100 at the biggest, to now we're on a project that's 2,500 square feet, over 100 years old almost, and it's just incredible. It's to be able to see this project come to fruition has been quite a journey.
How'd you come about getting the house?
Well, it's interesting. We always say, people ask us how we get these houses, and I mean, it really is God. I mean, we just kind of have them lay in our lap. I mean, sometimes there's a little bit of beating the bushes a little bit to try to find them, but this house was on our radar the summer we started doing Claire House number 3, and the market just wasn't primed for it. It was a little bit hot at the time, but we didn't really think that we could get into a house this size and be able to renovate it. We knew that the budget would be $100,000 minimum to renovate this house, which is what it has held true. But as the market continued to progress in this area, because Alta Vista is just such a great community to live in, we felt like it was something that was more doable, and the price was more doable. So it had been abandoned for I believe about 5 to 6 years. The owner had bought it at auction and they had lived in it, and then once they moved away, it started to deteriorate a little bit. And so we're really excited that we got to bring back the vision of what the original owner had.
And I'm going to take it back even further. It's really cool for me because as a teenager, I spent a lot of time in this house because this was my best friend's grandmother's home.
Oh, wow.
And so it's really cool to see this and to see how it's been transformed. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and I think it's that's one of the things. It was a halfway house at one time, and if you go upstairs, for someone to really want this house, they have to be okay with some of the things that you have in an older home. And so we kept all the original doors, and you could do all you want to original doors, but they're still going to have some originality to them, and you can still see the imprint on some of the doors of the numbers that were on the doors for the halfway house, which is just such a cool thing to remember that at one point in time that's what this served as.
So tell us a little bit about, once you got in here, how did you come about the design? Because you've taken down some walls and opened up things to make it a much more spacious home. How does that all come about?
Well, you were here in the very beginning when we walked through it. Marie's one of our board members, and we had another one of our board members, Jake Taylor, who is really good with construction and helping us with structural pieces of it. And we were kind of trying to figure out a way to make it open. And so if you go into the main living room and the main kitchen area, that used to be sectioned off into basically 3 rooms. And the kitchen was functioning as basically an old dining room. And then the kitchen that they had is where our mud room is. And it was a wreck. It was awful. But Connie, my wife, is the one who does all the designs. She picks all the colors. She picks everything. We fight back and forth with what we're actually going to do, but in the end, we always come to a great compromise with it. And she, in the very beginning, said that she could transform this house that was currently a 3.1.5 to a 4.3.
Wow.
And that was the big thing that she wanted to do. And she technically wanted to get it to a 5.3 with the dining room downstairs, but we decided to keep that and let that be an option for the homeowner. So we came in and we looked at some of the walls, and on gut day, we really changed a lot of our strategy. When we took down the first ceiling in the kitchen on gut day, the entire house had so much weight on it from just the ceiling that every door in the house would no longer close. And we knew at that point in time we had to take all the weight of the house off with all the ceilings. So that was one of the big things that we did, was we took down every ceiling, which had a layer of drywall, a layer of plaster, and a layer of backer board as well before we did that. So that was really, really quite interesting with that. So
we have some incredible sponsors and people who work on these projects. Who helped with some of those things, some of these
Sure.
ideas on the ceilings and the structure? And
yeah, our initial, our permits are pulled by Blair Construction. They really kind of walk with me. As far as actually, boots on the ground on the job, they don't come on the job, but they really help me with that process, and they oversee that permitting process for the house. And then they also provide some materials throughout the project to help us with. We always talk to Ben Miller of Miller Homes. His team is incredible, and one of the big components that we knew with this house was the porch.
Yes.
And the porch it's the selling point. I mean, it's gigantic. It's just incredible. But we knew that was a huge project, and we have a great relationship with Caps Building Supplies, and they furnished all the materials for the porch, and Ben did all the labor for the porch. And you're looking at probably in the neighborhood of about a $30,000 to $50,000 porch that was put on this house, and we were able to do it for next to nothing. And that's one of the big features of this house is the porch that just kind of captivates you when you come up. If you see the before and after, it's just incredible. Also, with the project, we have other contractors that come in. Moore's Electric has been on 4 jobs for us now. The second house, they came in at the very end and helped me clean up some stuff, but they have overseen the electrical and the HVAC on 3 of these projects, start to finish, turnkey, everything. There were days when you would come up here and you would see, 6 to 7 electricians and 3 to 4 HVAC technicians that were moving throughout this property. So we always have a conversation with Andy Moore, who's the CEO at Moore's Electric, and he's just been so good to us. Their entire team has, and they came through and they walked through the property, and they don't say no. If I start asking for things in the project, different places to put switches and unique things about it, they always do a great job of letting us, come through that.
Yeah, one of the incredible modern things about the house is adding the recessed lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Really makes rooms pop.
Yeah, it's a great feature. We started that design feature on Claire House 1, and we've kind of carried it. We have a pattern of how we're doing our houses. It's not all the same, but we have kind of a consistent palette of colors and things that we work through. Another piece is that we knew we wanted to restore the hardwood floors. Mm-hmm. We were not able to do them upstairs, which was, heartbreaking for us. But the downstairs, the hardwood floors, we wanted to restore those. And so Colbert Construction, Jason and Eric, they came in and they did an incredible job because we were pretty rough on these floors. Mm-hmm. We were, all summer long, we were just tearing them to pieces, and they came in, and as you can see, they look, practically brand new. With that. All of our tile work, all of our flooring, anything of that nature that is in regards to flooring that does not include sanding is all done by J.W. Squire, and Stephen Merrick's is a board member of ours. And, he also owns Danville Paint Supply, which, provides paint for us for the project. So that, 2 components there that is huge on every single project. This is the 4th house in a row that Stephen and his team have provided all the flooring, all the tile, everything. And that's one of the things we were able to do. If you go into the master bedroom, when me and Stephen were walking through the job, he said, "Jordan, you've got to have, a glass shower.
Yes.
You've got to have it. You've got to have it." And I said, "Well,
gorgeous.
that's something we really want to do, but that's like a $3,000 ask, And so Stephen picked up the phone and he called Piedmont Glass. And so Piedmont Glass this time came in and they provided the shower door free of charge, and that really was something that brought that property. It brought this property to a different level. Was having that.
It's an elevated. The primary bedroom and bath suite, and that walk-in closet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It could really be another room.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Our plumbing, we got a great 74-year-old plumber. He's going to be 75 in May, Ken Foster, and this is the 3rd house in a row he's done for us. And he said this one pushed him to the limit because he's typically doing like a 1-bath. Kitchen, and this is 3 bathrooms full and a huge kitchen. Our cabinets were done by Dawson Custom Woodworks. This is the 3rd project in a row that Joey's helped us on. This is the first time Joey's done our cabinets though, and
these are custom cabinets.
Yeah, he's always done our trim work. This time, we kept all of our trim work and we've kind of sourced it out to different people. This is the first time that he's done our cabinets. That relationship with Joey, with Joey Dawson from Dawson Custom Woodworks, is merged into our relationship with Paige at Spectrum Stone Designs in Concord. And I asked Paige, "Hey, we need to go ahead and get on the calendar because it's so far out with stone now." I said, "I'm looking at October." So she just, emailed me back about 2 weeks later and was like, hey, what do you think? And I said, something in the gray white family. And she shoots me a picture and goes, you can have this whole slab. So all of our granite in this project was taken care of by them. And that was a great piece of the project.
That's a new partnership.
Yes, it's a new partnership.
That's great.
It's the first time on this job. They did our countertops in our house.
Right.
But this is the first time we've been able to bring them on the job and help us out. So
Well,
we're really excited.
beautiful granite.
Yeah,
beautiful
it's
granite.
great. And so every year, we talk about all the different builders and different people that help us. Every time we do a project, we always honor like what we call an outstanding volunteer. And a lot of the people that I've named have gotten that over the years. But this time, we had two that we wanted to talk about. The first one was Hans Ulrich and his team from Hill City Builders. They have done a plethora of things, and they kind of get our outstanding volunteer award because they've come in, they poured our sidewalk concrete, they poured our back patio concrete. They did all the reframing, all the restructuring within the building, within the house. He did all of our windows. He has come in and done little things that we needed that needed to be done quickly. Just a lot of pieces of the project that we needed done. Hans was always coming on the job. And then the other one is Ron Chrisman. He came in and he has been with us from the very first day of gut day to the very last day when we started putting down all of our seed and everything. He's been responsible for clearing the lot, grading everything, and getting it just back to a normal a normal looking house, because before it looked like a jungle.
It was a jungle.
It looked like a jungle.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah, and then the landscaping, as we kind of finished the job off, the landscaping on all of our houses is always done by Heath. Jerry Heath is a friend of mine, and Heath Landscaping has come in and they do a lot of the commercial properties in the area, a lot of schools and things. And bar none, he's the best landscaper I've ever met. And he comes in every single time and does a great job.
The curb appeal here is incredible.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a very inviting house, somewhere you want to come and sit up on the front porch and say hi to the neighbors and enjoy maybe coffee out there in the morning and sitting in the evenings. It's very inviting. It's beautiful. Tell me a little bit about I know individuals can be involved in our house projects. How does that work, and what did we get?
Well, so we have a couple of ways. We have some people that donate directly to us financially. Last year we ran a campaign for Claire's birthday when we first got the house for people to donate to it, and we got around $1,000 that day. But then we started, the big thing was lighting and like mirrors, vanities. There are so many, the small pieces is when you really start to add up. And I think one day I had in my Amazon cart around, I think probably about anywhere from 11 to 12 grand worth of stuff in our wish list. And so we had people that came in and they bought pieces off of that, and they supplied us so much. So we're just really grateful for all those individual donors that came in and bought pieces, because that really helped augment the cost on this house. All of our appliances are always done by Haley's Appliances. He does a great job of giving us the best deal he can on the appliances for them to be fully furnished, and then he sends one of his team members out to install everything, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, they're great. They're stainless appliances plus washer and dryer.
That's
and
right.
That incredible laundry, utility, mud room, whatever you want to call it, but it's great. All the appliances are furnished.
Yeah, every one of our, we talked about Danville Paint and Supply and providing our paint, but every single job that we do, right now, this is a fourth house, Jay East from JM East Painting. His team is always coming in and painting our houses, and they do such a good job of always being patient. Painting it's a big deal because they have to come and do touch-ups and things like that to always make sure the house is ready completely. So we like to thank them as well. Also, there's a lot of different other foundations and organizations that contribute to this. The PAL Foundation is always a huge one that helps us out at the very end around Christmas. We always know we're getting a little bit of money there to help out with different costs. But this time, the Greater Lynchburg Trust came in on two separate fundings. I think we're in the neighborhood of around $20,000 that they helped with that. And that helps with the purchase price of the house. It helps keep the cost down. So, all in, we're looking at making a great profit off this house, moving forward.